Mounting national debt now threat to national security. Vertical bracket Forbes in Fox vertical bracket the cost of freedom. Shows. America Live. Hannity. America's News HQ. Happening now. America's Newsroom. Huckabee. Cavuto. Justice with Judge Keenan. Fox Files. Media Buzz. Red IW/Gutfeld. Fox News Sunday. Special Report. Fox and Friends First. Specials. Fox and Friends. Studio Me. Fox and Friends Weekend. The Cost of Freedom. Fox News Watch. The 5. Fox Report. The Journal Editorial Report. Geraldo at Large. The O'Reilly Factor. Greta. War Stories. Watch Now. All Times Eastern. Web shows. Fox News Channel. Fox Business Network. Login. Welcome. Profile. Logout. Home. About Neil. About Brenda. About David. About Eric. Mounting national debt now threat to national security. Published August 31st, 2013 vertical bracket Forbes in Fox vertical bracket David Assman. With Rich Carlgard, John Tamny, Steve Forbes, Rick Ngar, Elizabeth McDonald, Sabrina Skeefer, Mike Azanian, Morgan Brennan. Print. Email. Share. Recommend. Tweet. Watch the latest video at foxnews.com. Disclaimer: the following Cost of Freedom recap contains strong opinions which are not a reflection of the opinions of Fox News and should not be relied upon as investment advice when making personal investment decisions. It is Fox News policy that contributors disclose positions they hold in stocks they discuss, though positions may change. Readers of Cost of Freedom recap must take responsibility for their own investment decisions. In focus, Senator Jim Inhofe says we cannot afford to go to war with Syria due to cuts to defense in the sequester. Proof our national debt is becoming a security risk. Rich Carlgard: it would be difficult to follow the Powell Doctrine today. Colin Powell said we should have the sufficient resources to fight 2 major wars at the same time in different parts of the world. We can't do that today. We should be investing 6% on our GDP in our defense, as we did during the Reagan years. We can't afford to do that, because we are so far behind in the debt issue. John Tamny: we spend more than the top 10 countries behind us combined in defense. If there is a national security issue here, it's the fact that we defend some of the richest countries and regions in the world without defending the United States. If you look at the deficit more broadly, if anything it makes us safer. China is far less likely to want to bomb us if we owe them money than if we don't owe them money. Steve Forbes: Inhofe is right about the long-term implications on what we are doing on the budget. It's not just the level of the deficit or the level of the national debt. It's the fact that this president wants to draw down our military rather than building it up. Even though we have a large budget on paper, a lot of that goes towards personnel and things you don't see in other budgets. China is spending very heavily, even though it's not all out in the open. We have very volatile areas in the world, particularly on Asia. We are focused on the Middle East, but Japan and China, it's heating up, and I don't want to have Japan feel that it has to have nuclear arms, because we can't defend them. Rick Ngar: I can certainly go along with the dangers that come along with the national debt, but I have a very hard time buying that security is one of them. Yesterday we sent another warship to the Persian Gulf. This is just not a problem. Other things may go, if we find ourselves challenged in our national security, but we have all the money we need. I couldn't disagree with Senator Inhofe more. It's just fear-mongering, it's not an issue. Elizabeth McDonald: China and Russia can make our lives miserable by dumping treasuries. They can move interest rates higher in our country. The central bankers are looking at some serious research that is finding that the dumping of treasuries can move the 10-year yield higher and our loan rates higher, because the foreign governments own so much on our debt. Sabrina Skeefer: he realizes